looking at. I look a little worse for wear. Oh, I guess I should be looking at this little camera here. I don't normally do this on my phone, so forgive the low budgetness of the whole situation. But as you can see, I look a little tired. Actually, I look a lot tired. I have bags under my eyes, and it's actually been a pretty long week with a busted vehicle and everything else. But I noticed that we were getting a fair amount of traffic and subscribers based on the situation with the vehicle. So I thought I've been sort of hiding, showing my face because I've been tired and there's some degree of vanity involved. But I thought, well, you know what? If people are doing no makeup, no whatever, I suppose I, as a guy, should sort of show what happens when you have your vehicle smashed and busted by virtue of it being a crappy Kia vehicle with an engine that has a basically seizes up and dies as a result of a recall. And so I figured I would provide an update. I did in the last video, but I figured that on camera I can provide a little bit more of an update. So the good news is the vehicle now has an engine. So the engine arrived from Kia Canada and the dealership is able to put the engine in, which is good. So they're going to, that actually they've been in the process of doing that. So hopefully the vehicle will be ready to pick up, and the good news is that we won't have to pay for that. The bad news is obviously it's caused some disruption, and although we are still working on the television show is actually being cut in my buddy Joe's kitchen. So if those of you that might have been looking at the live streams, you can actually see. So we're getting the show done. So we're still basically we're still meeting our deadlines, and because we are good at adapting. But I won't lie, it's been a stressful long week, and you can see it in my face, right? You can see that I've got lines under my eyes, and I'm tired. And one thing I could use is a bloody haircut because my hair is long, so I'm gonna have to find somewhere in Ottawa to get my hair cut. I'd been meaning to do that before we left, but obviously that was not possible because obviously life happens. So that's that is something to be considered. But yeah, so and what I will do is I will give a little bit of a recap for those of you that might be just popping in on this now and have not really been able to, well, frankly, don't have any idea what the hell is going on. So we were in Montreal filming the pilot episode of the French version of Go Nitro, which is called Premier Jeu. And we were shooting that with my old friend Alex Tagliani. And on the way back from Montreal, we stopped at my buddy's place in Ottawa and packed up and then went back to Saskatchewan. And Saskatchewan is roughly 25 kilometers or 700-800 miles or so from Ottawa. So it's a bit of a schlep. So when we were actually about the halfway point back to Saskatchewan, we were just outside of a town called Long, which is in northern Ontario, and we heard a click, 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 click of the engine, and then the engine just died. It did try to turn over, but it just died. And long story short, the engine was indeed dead, and there were no lights. There was no indication that there was anything wrong. The entire vehicle had a once over by a mechanic just before departure, and everything was good to go, and it had a full oil change. So the vehicle was in good shape, and even the dealership was quick to say, hey, you know what, you've got one of the cleanest vehicles that we've seen of this vintage, shall we say, that have come in here. And so it turned out that it needed a new engine, and fortunately it was covered under a recall, but it could have been a lot worse, and it's still cost us a fair amount of money. I mean, if Kia hadn't replaced the engine, it would have been $10,000 for the engine. But it's also probably going to cost us close to $10,000 in just disruption, right? Because my buddy had to come and get us, and then we basically had to pay for hotel rooms, and we had to pay for food, and then we had to make alternate arrangements, and then my friend had to drive us back to Saskatchewan to get some of the equipment, and then drive back to his place, and CAA and all of this stuff. I mean, this is stuff that costs quite a bit of money, right? And I can't meet with my clients. I can't in Saskatchewan, at least temporarily until the vehicle's fixed. It's a disruption. Now, fortunately, we have a very good long-standing list of clientele, and it certainly isn't affecting our deliverables at all. But it is a disruption. We've basically had to set up an interim studio in my friend's kitchen, basically, in order to get the shows done on time. And that's just sometimes that's just what you have to do. That's just how things go, and you work it. But I guess the one thing that I would say is don't ever buy a Kia. Don't ever buy a Kia. What they're supposed to do is apparently they are supposed to send out a recall notice, and they're supposed to send it to the registered owner of the vehicle, and they didn't do that. Because if they had, the vehicle would have gone in for basically the recall to have the engine fixed and replaced, and that would have been done before a 2,500 kilometer excursion would have been done. I mean, that's just common sense, right? I mean, you obviously do what you can. And apparently they've known about this for quite some time. And we were very fortunate in that the breakdown happened in a place that we were able to safely pull over. Hello, Zero. Yeah, we got the whole regiment here today. Wah, do you want to come say hello? Do you want to come say hello? Do you want to say hello? I think Zero wants to say hello. Do you want to say hello? Do you want to say hello? Viewers are probably more interested in what you have to say than I do at this point. Here you go. Here. If you're not watching, here's a cat. See, there we go. We've got one viewer now. It's like, here's that asshole that's talking for no reason. We've got no viewers, and as soon as somebody hears him meowing, and then we see a cat, now we have a viewer. We have one viewer now. So, if we had a dog, will we get another viewer? Tilk, come. He doesn't want to get up. Tilk. He doesn't want to get up. Wow. Hi. You gonna provide some commentary? No? Well, you're already doing it. There you go. Here, sit. Yeah. So, there's cat, and we can see dog. Hello, doggy. Are you being a good boy? Can't really see him from this angle. Are you being a good boy? See the tail go. You being a good boy? He doesn't want to get up at all. So yeah, so basically Emily, Joe, and I are working on the show here, and that's basically how we're doing it right now. So for those of you that are watching, you know that see, as soon as I put the cat away and I put the dog away, then we lose our one viewer. Oh well, there will be others. That's fine. My feelings aren't hurt at all. So, yeah. So, oh, there's the viewer again. I don't know who you are, but I have dogs and cats and so on. So, yeah. So basically, the television series is going to be edited here for the foreseeable future until the vehicle's ready. So, those of you that are watching our show on Fox Sports, on ABC, on CBS, on NBC. I don't know if I said CW. It's been a long week, so if I've forgotten a few call letters, then I apologize. It is actually being edited in a Canadian kitchen. So the episodes that I can verify that have been, by the time you see them on the air, edited in a kitchen, will be, so rock climbing for season 3, that is the one that is just sort of being finished up now. And Aikido, those episodes are also being done in here. So we're doing them in the kitchen, on a laptop. I don't know where the, sort of this is all, and then a bunch of laptops here on the bar, complete with a soccer ball, a dorky looking ball cap. My buddy has 3 kids. Joe has 3 kids, so some of their lovely artwork is on the fridge here, and so yeah, so that's sort of. So lest you think that every TV show is always done in a studio all the time, sometimes it is necessary to do what you need to do in order to make your deadline. And in this case, a national US TV show is being done in Ottawa in a Canadian kitchen with an extremely low budget. Why is it saying where I'm trying to install Premiere on this laptop so that I can edit the show basically while I'm here, because this is a more powerful machine. This is actually the machine that I typically use for larger live streaming, just because it has an encoder card, like it has Thunderbolt on it, and it runs the entire interface and so on. But that's basically how we what I use this machine for. Typically, I do not use this machine as an editing machine. So in case you're wondering why I have bags under my eyes and I look really tired, well, after driving 700 miles in 1 week after having your engine blow up and trying to deliver a television show in a kitchen after effectively after basically losing your engine, we shall see how well you fare. However, I think that any of our clients that might be watching this right now and know us have a pretty good indicator of that we get it done. And I think the important thing to take away is that, you do what you have to basically meet your contractual obligations and get everything done. So I think that is a major takeaway, that sometimes all you can do is laugh, and sometimes shit happens, and you just make the best of it and do what you can. And I think that is one of I think when a situation happens, yes, it's dangerous when your vehicle gives out and you can sit and cry about it, or about how unfair it is, or you basically just get to work. And fortunately, we had the majority of our equipment with us and a loyal crew, so we were able to get it done and get to work. So think about that the next time you are watching Go Nitro, wherever you are in the United States. And remember that there is a hardworking crew, small, tight-knit crew that is willing to put together a studio in a kitchen in Ottawa with a loud Siamese cat and a exceptionally lazy Alaskan Malamute shepherd on the floor like a throw rug, that is doing what is needed to make a show for you. Zero, do you want to come up again? Is that what you want? Yeah. And we take our job seriously, but apparently not ourselves. Zero, if you want to come up. Is that what you want? Here, cat. Here, see? You're on YouTube. And there's 2 whole viewers. Yeah, there's 2 whole viewers. Yeah. How come when I pick you up, you shut up? You're like the frog from Bugs Bunny, the singing frog. Hello, my baby, hello, my honey. And as soon as basically anybody shows up, you stop. That's what this is. Hi, here, look at the camera. Hi. I don't know if you can hear the purring, but Zero. What? You're the one that wanted to be picked up. Yeah, you're the one that wanted to be picked up. This was your idea. Wank. This was your idea. Yeah, that's the other thing when you're not in studio and you have a cat and a dog and you have pets and you have a pet-friendly studio. Hi, do you want to go down? Yes? Yeah, and then you know what's going to happen. She's just going to bug me in 5 minutes. It's funny, usually I use a proper interface for this. I don't know if I have any messages from anybody. Truthfully, I don't really know how to... I don't actually know how to... Because usually I use OBS when I do this, and I don't have... I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Weird. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to basically put the. I was trying to figure out how to put the text thing up here on YouTube, but sadly, I do not know how to do that. I wish I did, but I don't. Anyway, so while I'm here, I may as well talk about some of the episodes that will be coming up. I'll talk about the English episodes because right now I'm doing this live stream in English, and I will do French language streams as time goes on, and I will attempt to stop moving the camera and making my two viewers dizzy that I apparently cannot talk to for some reason. So anyway, you two viewers out there, if you haven't subscribed, please do, and if you have any comments or anything, please leave them. Zero, if you're gonna scratch, use your scratching pose. Don't scratch the chair. Yeah. Anyway, if that wasn't worth a subscription, I don't know what was. So anyway, I'm going to talk about some of the episodes that we have coming up in English that you will see in the United States. So the first one that you're going to see coming up is rock climbing. So that's actually a pretty interesting one. That one was shot in Regina. And wait, did we shoot that in Regina or Saskatoon? That was rock climbing. That's my producer. I'm just
rock climbing was in Saskatoon.
Oh, it was in Saskatoon. Sorry, we we shoot so many of these episodes so frequently that sometimes I forget which of the two cities in Saskatchewan that we shoot them in. No disrespect to the guests that appear on the show. So yeah, that one's in Saskatoon. So that one that one is that one we shot in Saskatoon. So that'll be probably that'll be one of the last episodes for season 3. And then we've got 4 episodes of Aikido, which we shot in Regina. So that is actually a really interesting episode because I am I learn jiu-jitsu, and this is a very complete. It's not the same, but there is some relation to it, particularly because Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu comes from Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, which is a complete system and obviously encapsulates more than just grappling. And then Aikido is also related to Japanese Jiu-Jitsu as well. So just typically it will start from standing. So you have locks, and then you have weapons, and then you have other types of sparring. So those are really interesting, and those you will not want to miss. And I apologize for the slightly shaky, more than slightly shaky nature of this device. I'm using kind of a crappy $150 Motorola phone, which is frankly not a very good phone, but it's cheap, and I'm cheap because even though you are watching this TV show in America, it is actually made in Canada, and that means the Canadian budget. In other words, there is no budget. Basically, the budget is we don't even buy coffee for this show. If you want coffee, you actually have to have a coffee maker, like so. Yeah, we don't go to fancy places like Dunkin' Donuts or anything like that if we want coffee. I mean, we have to make our own damn coffee. Yeah, that's Canadian television. We have to make our own damn coffee. Well, the crew has to make their own coffee because I don't drink coffee, which one might say is perhaps my life is easier by not having to drink coffee because there are so many coffee drinkers in the world. But I find that with the hours that I often have to pull, that realistically speaking, my life frankly would be a lot easier if I did drink coffee, which I don't. So when I'm tired, I get larger bags under my eyes, which is just lovely. Fortunately, that is what water, pop, and makeup is for, such as this. So, and sleep, but sleep is not something that I tend to get a whole lot of these days, to be perfectly honest with you. And so that is something that is to be considered as well. So I'm just trying to think if there's anything else here other than the usual begging for subscribers and so on and so forth. I'm just trying to think what else. But yeah, well, whatever. I'll beg for subscribers, and then I will go into some other stuff. So, yeah. So those of you that have not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. Even though our show does run on in syndication on television stations and networks across the United States, it does make a big difference. The metrics for YouTube do make a difference. So, and if you have any ideas or comments or anything that you would like to see us do an episode of Go Nitro on, please do leave a comment in the below or send me an email at corey@skycron.com and I will get it and I will respond. We do go all across the United States to film these episodes and in Canada, and as our budget increases and we get more sponsors, we are hoping to also extend that to Europe. So we are hoping to go to Scotland to do the Highland Games, and we are going to be going to Chicago to do some stuff with the White Sox and all kinds of good stuff. Okay, that's not in Europe, but it's still exciting. But yeah, so these are the sort of adventures that you can run into when basically working on a national television show. You know, life does not always inoculate you from what you're doing, right? We have a television show that we have to put up for Fox and ABC and everybody every week, and it's in syndication, so it's important that the stuff get done, and that's sort of how it goes. Oh, I was up to 3 viewers, and now I'm back down to 2. They're like, television. Who needs television? YouTube is the future, man. So yeah, so basically, I'm just killing time right now. Really, I'm just waiting for this to. Oh, this is done. This is done. Well, that's good. Let's see if it actually works properly. All right, finally some excitement. System compatibility report. Unsupported video driver. Well, that's, yeah. So, according to, I don't know if you can see this. Actually, you know what? This would be probably a whole lot easier to just. Can I change that? Yeah, yes, apparently I can. Get a load of this shit, huh? System compatibility report. Video NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 unsupported video driver. Fix. Yeah, let's see if it actually lets me fix. This ought to be good. I don't think I need to. NVIDIA stopped releasing studio drivers for older GPUs. However, the latest game-ready drivers are still available, blah, blah, blah. Jeez. Yeah, you know what? I don't think I'm going to touch NVIDIA right now. I think I'm just going to run this the way I normally do. I'm going to continue with. You may experience performance degradation. I might deal with that later. This is a secondary machine, so we'll see how this goes. So this is basically what we're editing the show on right now while we're here. So far, so good. I don't know why they have to basically give all this crap. I don't need tutorials. I've been using this software a long time. I wish somebody would come up with a. I'll put this on the D drive. I guess this should. I guess we'll call this project files. I still have 2 viewers. Well, I guess if you're watching this, it's keeping you from getting laid. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but anyway. Blah, 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 project files. Basically, I'm just working on the French version right now. And then Emily is working on the English version. So I will just hit OK. Scratch disk into ingest settings. That looks fine. We'll say OK. That looks fine. System issues found. Yeah. Fuck off. Yes, I will continue with known issues. What I don't like... Yeah, I'm going to close this panel because I don't really need this. You'd think after 20 years they would figure out with all their algorithms and everything that we are a television studio, we are doing a national show, we don't... I think I have a pretty good idea how to use this shit by now. You would think. Alright. And the funny thing is the only reason that I'm using 2021, the only reason that I'm using 2021, it's because I need to be able to export in QuickTime animation format because that is what we use. I guess what I'll do is I'll GoPro Camera 3. Which camera is this? I don't actually know what kind of cameras this is. Cameras this are. Where is my grammar? Holy shit. Okay, this is stuff on the GoPro, so we don't need that. Not right now. Really? Really? Alright, fine. Sort by type. Okay, well, this is not going to be a whole lot of fun to synchronize this, but I don't see that we have much of an alternative. What I am going to do, however, is... Actually, you know what? I will actually bring them all in like this. And then I have to hit Alt. Don't mind me, folks. Does Alt not work anymore? Alt does not work anymore. Maybe it was Shift. Don't know, don't care. I'm holding this with my one hand. Take from that what you will. Isn't working on a national television show glamorous? If you thought that, I have a bridge to sell you. I have a busted Korean vehicle. How's that for glamour? Is that glamorous to you? 'Cause it ain't to me. Now I'm generating peak files. That's right, kids. That's actually how we edit this bloody show every week. All these metadata files that I do not really need. So we'll get these in and see how these are going. So this is interesting because while I'm importing all this crap, I mean, it's not crap. No disrespect to my good colleagues and friends, Sophie and Joseph. So I'm gonna have to bring these levels down. So this is our dynamic duo here for Premier Jeu. So that's actually great. So it's funny. I'm actually doing this live stream in English, but I'm working on it I'm working on the French version of the show. So I'm gonna have to start doing some French. I will be doing some French live streams. But yeah, so this is part of the intro sequence. So this actually has to be in to TVA Sport before the end of. Tourner means turn. So this is just some of the stuff, basically just beauty shots and things like that. That basically comprise the show, and they actually turned out really well. The colors are going to be a little intense here because I'm basically showing you this on my potato phone, and that really is what this is. And here's the fun part. So such as it is, I actually have to take. I actually don't know which files are. I can't believe there are 3 people watching me poke through files. It's like, oh, it's on TV. Well, you know what? If it's exciting for you, power to ya. What am I looking for? So Well, I may as well tell you what I'm doing right now then, I guess. Basically, what I'm doing right now is I'm just looking for the audio files that are from the recorder. So a lot of the time, not always, but most of the time when we shoot television shows, we will shoot them like the audio is recorded separately. It's not recorded on board. And there's a couple of, now you might say, well, why don't you just record it on the camera and, la, 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 la. And there's a couple of reasons for that. The main reason is control, right? Because oftentimes we are going to have multiple cameras going at the same time. And as a result of that, it means that there's going to be different data coming from each one. And we want to have a nice unified audio source. So the solution to that, and we also want to have control over the quality of the sound, and we want to be able to mix it later. And basically we want to have control over multiple sources, right? So that it can sound as good as it possibly can be. So we record the sound separately. But I used an old card because we were rushing around, and consequently what that means is that I have files that are in here that should not be in here from an older project file.
Because an attacker has already made the first move, is about to take a swing. Fort Krav Maga is designed to teach students the principles of self-defense.
So this is an old file. It's just a matter of finding out which ones.
The entire world, the sport North Americans know, is that you cannot use.
So these are English files. I'm going to sort by I'm actually going to view this as a list because then I can probably see the bloody hell details. Nope, that's not what I wanted to see. Extra large icons. When was this? We'll see if this is one of them. It might be.
It's another thing to train with them, but there's just one type.
That's really old. This is one of the files because it's in French and because I can hear Sophie talking. Okay, that's also one of the files because I can hear Alex Tagliani talking and that's in French. Okay, so that's in English. So we know that these two files are okay. So I'm going to copy these and I'm going to put these back. I know it's a little redundant and maybe a bit stupid to kind of copy files when they're obviously already here, but I'm going to do this just because it makes it a little bit easier, and I think it also means that if they're here, so I believe this was one, because I'm just copying this in another one, because then I have a bunch of redundant stuff from a dump that didn't need to be here. The audio is good there. And then this should also be. Yeah, this is one of the other ones. And then this is Emily, which
Seems playing.
I think that's the extent of the audio. I don't think we have any other audio than that.
Soccer will leave you behind.
I'm basically just checking to make sure that there aren't any.
Yay. And Art of Soccer goes by the
These are all pretty old files. I don't think these are.
length with one same game.
So that's Emily's voice. So I'm basically just checking these. Now, in a perfect world, kids, you would be
Teach students
doing
you like to handle
clearing your cards before you do this, and for the most part we do, but because we
because an attack
do so many of them, it's not always possible. There's the,
there is no raw damage with the least of
so these are okay. I don't think any of these. I'm basically just checking.
time, and an attacker is more likely to
Okay, so that's good.
from the very first along with fighting technique.
So what you're hearing, if you can even hear it over this kind of shitty potato,
Have been designed. There are all
these are in Go Nitro, these are actually the narrations that you hear. And this is raw before anything was done to it, but these honestly should have been deleted and weren't. Hello, Zero. I think we.
how's that?
You can hear.
Okay.
Wah. Wah. All right, so it looks as though we have everything we need. That should pretty much do it. That works.
First ever dogs, let's see how we do.
Jeez, that's going back to season 2. That is,
See how we do. The dogs in the sled behind.
But you know what? The good thing is that all the stuff is here. Yes, Zero, I'm going to give you attention in a minute. Yes, I'm going to give you attention in a minute. Import. Audio. 2 of these. And that should do for that. So everything is there now. So I should probably, at some point, get on with it and basically do it. But I'll create a new sequence from this. We'll see. HD should be fairly. This computer is quite powerful, so it should be able to handle it with relative ease.
Camera, okay. Okay. Camera, okay. Okay. Yeah. Alright, Sophie. Okay. Okay. Look this way and then we'll get Sophie.
Yeah. Sometimes it's bilingual on set. We click back and forth. Okay. All right, guys, come on. Tilk, get out of the kitchen. Tilk, get out of the kitchen. Yeah, see, this is what I have to deal with when I'm editing a show, just in case you thought that, you know, we were doing this in $1 million studios and stuff with crispers and stuff on the counter. Tilk, go lie down, get out of the kitchen. Out of the kitchen. Yeah, hello. All right. You had a big long walk today, and you have to go in and annoy the cat. Yeah. Well, I've been on here for 40 minutes, and I intended to just provide a little bit of an update on what's going on, and I've given you an overview of the situation, dear viewers, and I've provided you with fuzzy cats and dogs of varying degrees of compliance and the show. So anyway, I do intend to do more live streams. Some will be really raw like this. Some will be a little bit more polished, and some will obviously be promotional stuff for the show. No mouthing. No mouthing. No mouthing. Yeah. No mouthing. So, and I think that'll do it for now. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, please do. And I will keep doing these as time permits. Tilk, don't scratch. I know it seems mean that I don't want him to scratch. It's just he has some psoriasis and I don't want him tearing his ear apart because he has dry skin. We put supplements in his food so he does not scratch his ear apart. Yeah, so there we go. The elegance of a TV show. So